And George, we are live. I know you're filling the draft, so I'm going to go ahead and talk first. This is our first ever Monday Mock Lavatory. I think I got the name right. Mock Draft Lavatory. We're workshopping it. It's a work in progress. What we wanted to do is get a bunch of people together, do at minimum three drafts live. George and I are going to talk about your drafts. We've got somebody from Toilets for Title in each one of the drafts to be a little interactive with you guys. So if you are going to watch this on Toilets to Titles on our YouTube page and put a comment up, we will, as long as it's within, a PG rating or so, we will get it up on the board. So your comments will be seen, if not heard, by George and I. We're going to be switching between multiple drafts tonight. And George, how we coming over there? I do want to say, if you like what we do and want to sponsor us, you can go to patreon.com/toiletsfortitles. Being in our Patreon gives you a ton of cool perks. You get to be in our Discord chat. At the $20 level, you get to be in the Frankensink for that $20 level, which is very cool. The Frankensink is a very cool league that has a bunch of cool rules in it. It's much better than, say, I won't mention Scott Fish, but cooler than Scott Fish, really. So that's Patreon. If you want to follow us, you can go to @ToiletsForTitles. George is here @GeorgeReedFF. You've got me @BFTGJason. And then I know Justin's in there @JustinFF_, and he wants you to know that he would like the J and the FF capitalized, please. Not that it matters, but also
it matters to him.
It does matter to him, and George loves hugs, and we're going to leave that banner up. And away we are going in our first draft, George. And
so I don't know what's going on with the first draft because I am in the process of filling up the last two. As soon as we get the last two going, I'll be able to join you a little bit more attentively. I don't want people to think that I am ignoring them. I am just working here, trying to get these mock drafts filled so people can do mock drafts and we can talk about it.
Okay, well, the first round is done, and I will just read through them. It looks very much like I expected it to look. We've got Taylor, McCaffrey, Henry, first three off the board. Eckler, Cook. Then we've got the three wide receivers. Alex jumping in with Justin Jefferson. Cooper Kupp, Jamar Chase. Harris, Kelsey, Mixon, and Swift is your 12th pick. Now, following up Swift, Devontae Adams went the first pick in the second round, and pick number 2, who went Joe Mixon in the first round, is on the board, taking Saquon Barkley. So a pair of running backs there for the fantasy, and it cuts off there for me, unfortunately, so I can't tell you how that finishes. So
I did see, you can't tell them how it finishes.
Let me ask you, did you see that Najee kind of went off today with an injury? Did we hear anything on whether that ended up being serious? I am taking a look to see if there was any more news on that. He just had his foot stepped on. He'd probably be all right.
Yeah, he had his foot stepped on. He'll be all right. What's it called? What's his name for Dallas? James Washington. It's not really a big blow to the team, but they lost him for probably 6 to 8 weeks with the broken foot.
So we have our first comment, George, and it's I think he's just making words up here, but he says I'm Chiva Legend, and so I guess that's his
sleeper name
handle. Yep. And all right, getting back into the first round. So Adam Thielen, who I'm pretty impressed that we have Adam Thielen drafting with us today. Welcome, Adam.
This is the second time we've had Adam Thielen drafting with us. He drafted with us last week as well.
So he grabbed Chase and then his former teammate Stephon Diggs. So that's a good wide receiver pair. We'll see if he's going 0 RB or just decided to take what's best on the board. Chiva Legend took Najee and then followed it up with Alvin Kamara, which I like, especially with the rumors possibly Kamara's not going to be suspended. If he's not suspended, he's a super value at 2-4.
Yeah, I have no idea if he's going to get suspended or not.
But if he doesn't, that is a solid running back start with Najee and Alvin Kamara. Now, our podcast brother here, Alex, he followed up Justin Jefferson with Aaron Jones, and I bet you he was through the moon. Being able to start with what he considers his number one wide receiver, following it up with a solid pick of like Aaron Jones, having a running back of that caliber fall to him, super happy there, right? Now, going back and looking at the first round, where are you on Derrick Henry 3rd overall versus Austin Eckler 3rd overall? Because it went OBJ 15 took Derrick Henry, and that left Eckler for Thanos.
I think I prefer Eckler because all these are PPR. So I think I would prefer Eckler, but I don't hate Henry. Like Henry was a boss last year.
Yeah, that's the thing. If Henry actually comes back into form, he was blowing on a per game basis. He was blowing Jonathan Taylor out of the water, right? Like on a per game basis, what Henry was doing compared to what Jonathan Taylor did. It took several weeks for Derrick Henry after the injury to drop out of the top 5 for the whole season because he was so far and away the best running back in the league before his injury. So if he can even capture part of that, he's a value at 3. But I worry about his age and his running style and his size. Following up Derrick Henry, he picked Mike Evans. I like Mike Evans this year, but it's tough now that Julio's there. Now that
it's not even Julio. It's more Godwin, right? Like taking him that early, I want the Godwin. Like I want Godwin to miss some time. If I'm taking Evans.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking to take him that early, you're hoping that Godwin misses some time. And look, just because he's cleared to practice this early doesn't mean he's actually not going to miss time. It could just be a smokescreen. You kind of want Dallas to start preparing for all your wide receivers and not just some of them. But, the fact of the matter is Julio is there, and while he's on the field, he's going to be a target in the red zone. Another big body of guy, so someone that can take targets away from Mike Evans. And then Chris Godwin, if he is truly healthy and going to start the season, you're not going to get that 4 to 6 game buffer that you thought you were going to get with Mike Evans throughout most of this offseason. So CJ Denson actually picked CeeDee Lamb ahead of Stephon Diggs,
Yeah.
George.
No, I agree with that. Okay.
All right. You don't hate.
Can you hear the dinging?
I do. Somebody timed out. And
that's fantastic. We're already timing out.
That's our first timeout. So let's see. We've got the Big S saying, wow, Team 1 looking good. Got Javonte Williams and Jonathan Taylor. And Deebo Samuel. So that's solid start. 3 running backs there. So good job. I'm not going to try to pronounce whatever he's trying to say with his name there, but CRDGZX, court date for Kamara set for end of September. And George, Toilets for Titles, is saying we're ready to start number 2 when you are ready, sir. And we said it twice. Jared says he's driving, but he'll be drafting, so that sounds good. And then I
already started number 2.
Okay. And then so then Rich Gonzalez says, I like Thielen team starting out with Chase and Diggs. Now, the Big S says 3 running backs to start. Yeah, okay, so he's laughing at my joke about Deebo. So, all right, we're going to switch it over to the other draft real quick. And take a look and see where we are there. I might not have that one up, so I'm going to have to look at the little screen.
And if you're watching at home, like I apologize for not being as active and attentive as I normally am. I am trying to get this last draft full, and then I can give you my absolute undivided attention.
So I am going to do this, and then we are going to take a look. So on the on the second draft, Jonathan Taylor went first, Cooper Kupp went 2, and Christian McCaffrey went 3. So the big one, obviously, there. This one started off much different. In the second draft we got going, we've got 3 wide receivers in the first 5 picks versus running backs going 1 through 4 in the first 5 picks in the other draft. We also have Mark Andrews going in the second in this one, and Kelsey and Chubb for Justin as the start. Is not a bad start there. But in a PPR, Chubb, it probably wouldn't have been my pick there. But that's why they play the game, right?
Well, and you got to get your guys. I don't know if that is that guy's guy.
Yeah, is Chubb Justin's guy? How in the Chubb is Justin? I'm sure he'll post this. So this is where it gets interesting. So in league number 2, the tight end Mark Andrews went in like at 2-2. In league number 1, he made it all the way to the 4th pick in the 3rd round. Deontay Johnson still going high. Has he started practicing yet, George? I know he's your guy, so you'd know. All right. No, George. I know he's busy.
No, I'm here. Sorry. I am working on this mock here. This is the last one. It should be getting ready to fill here very quickly.
All right.
I gotta send out one more notification, and I will be with you and give you all of my undivided attention, Jason.
Okay, so Toilets for Title says, oh, hold on, here we go. Nino says, go get him, fellas. We got Lori making another appearance. Lori, always good to have you on. Says,
by the way, Lori is our favorite guest. She's our favorite. She's HR for the company.
Yep. Toilets for Title says Justin loves this Chubb. Lori says Justin's guy used to be Aaron Rodgers. He had such a man crush. It made her a bit jealous. And then the Big S says, do you have any auction advice? What would be your overall roster construction? George, well, I know you're filling the draft. I'm going to wait till George is around. He's done more auctions than I have. So I'm going to wait till George.
I'm here, Jason. I've done the auction. What I'd like to do with my auctions, honestly, is I set a budget for each position. Okay. So if it's $100, like I'll allocate $25 for running backs. I'll allocate $25 for wide receivers. Like I'll just take a certain percentage of the budget and I'll allocate it towards those positions. And if I can get a guy at a discount, like let's say I got to start, 2 wide receivers. If I get 2 receivers I like and I still got a couple extra dollars, I can move it to my running back position or a tight end or quarterback. But normally I'm not paying up for tight end. I'm not paying up for quarterback. I'll pay up for running back, wide receiver. Though that's going to be the largest part of my budget. But you can get decent quarterbacks and tight ends for $2 or $3. So they don't require a very large part of your budget.
All right. So it's interesting. Deebo Samuel went 3-1 in both drafts. Let's see. Josh Allen went 3-3 in this one, and he went 4-1 in the other draft. Let's see. I'm just going to see if there's anything here that stands out to me in this draft. Now, Waddle going to Chiva Legend. He's got Waddle and Jerry Jeudy. And I don't know. So I'm a Sutton guy. I probably would have taken Sutton over Jeudy, assuming he didn't go off the board, and he didn't. I do like Waddle. If you watched our show, the Roundtable last night, Coach has him as a top 5 guy, which I think is a stretch.
That's a huge stretch.
Well, it could it be? Yes, but okay. Jefferson, Cup, Chase, all 3 ahead. Devontae Adams ahead. That's 4. There is a world in which Mike Evans, Tyreek Hill, Debo, AJ Brown, Keenan Allen, Johnson, Moore all go after Waddle. There is a world there. Like none of those, it wouldn't surprise you if any of those guys had drop offs or all of those guys even. Like there's a world where all of that could go in Waddle's way. I just think it's a stretch. But top 10, I think looking at that list, that's an easy one for me.
Join our mock draft. Sorry, I'm still trying to fill up one last draft. I got to get that third one going. So,
all right. So I'm going to switch over to the other draft, see how we're doing. Not the one that you're still trying to fill, obviously, or still filling.
I'm not overly concerned. It will fill.
Yeah, absolutely. Actually, I wouldn't mind if it waited a bit so we could talk about these two a little bit. So we got geriatric Prez, Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams. Now, Devontae Adams lasting, 2-9. That's a long wait to get Devontae Adams. So I bet you he might have been thinking about running back and saw Devontae fall there. Said, "Nah, I gotta have it." But he ended up with Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans. Be interesting to see where he goes at running back coming back around here. But getting through 3 top 15 guys, that's if you're going running back 0, that's the best hope you could start for, or best start you could hope for. How about that?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm too scared to do 0 running back, 0 RB. Like I can't do that.
I'm much more hero RB where I take one, especially if I have one of the first several picks. I'll take an Eckler, I'll take a Taylor, I'll take a McCaffrey, then load up on wide receivers and come back to running backs later in the draft. But yeah, I've never been a dude that's, me, you and I draft very similar where we both take running backs a lot early. So 0 RB actually scares the crap out of me too.
Yeah, I can't do it.
So let's see. Gonna get some comments in. Good. Hoping to see Waddle in the top 12. I think it's very possible. Very, very possible. Switch over to this draft over here.
So the one thing I'm really looking forward to with these mock drafts, I want to see, charges aside, I want to see how high Deshaun Watson jumps. Because I did a couple mock drafts last week, and he went very, very late. And now that people know what is going on with him, like, I just want to see where he goes. I want to see the jump. Because there's going to be a jump, right?
I mean, it's still 6 games. So even if he's very good for 11 games, 10 if you count, when you take game 17 out, even if he's very good for 10 games, you're still missing him for 6. So in a redraft league, it's tough for me to take him and put him on a limited bench spot. That's my only issue with it. Like he's going to have to be a world beater after not playing for a season, a season plus 6 games. And rusty as all get out. They have a favorable schedule. They get to play Jacksonville, but in a redraft like this with a small bench, I'm gonna have a tough time taking him pretty much anywhere. Now, Scott Fish, like where you got him, that's completely different. There's no trades. Everybody's taking 3-4 quarterbacks, or everybody's taking 3 quarterbacks. Like it makes sense in Scott Fish, but in a quick redraft league like this. Man, last round flyer, but then he's soaking up a bench spot for somebody you could pick up after week 1 when there's an injury. So I don't know.
Yeah,
and these are mock drafts, so it is a bit different. It's easier to take a guy like that in a mock draft than it is to try and hold on to him for 6 weeks.
Well, also these drafts also are only one quarterback, right? Like
Right.
so I think being only one quarterback, like you're going to see a lot of quarterbacks going late, as it is, which is a viable, solid draft strategy. Um,
All
we
right.
got
So
two spots left in the mock draft, and I can get it going.
George, thoughts on Godwin?
I like Chris Godwin. I don't know if he's going to be ready for the start of the season. Everything points to him actually being there to start the season, but man, I don't know. He tore his ACL so late. When did he tear the ACL, Jason?
December, the week. Well, so I'm looking at it. It's around December 19th. I think it was the December 18th game. So, in December for that injury for him for sure.
Yeah, it's so late.
The tough thing is, of when you were listening and before the news where he wasn't going to start on the pup, which doesn't matter because you can put him on the pup at any time. You could, during training camp. All the news reports were basically he wasn't, like, they didn't have a timetable on his return. They weren't going to rush him back. They didn't think he'd come right back. And
we're getting another timeout.
He's there. He's just making a decision. There you go. No timeout. AJ Dillon. It's better than a timeout.
Jason, do me a favor.
Yep.
I'm gonna make this challenging on you. Can you go into the Twitter?
Yeah.
Join the mock draft number 3 so I can get it started.
Oh, I can't be in a mock draft.
You're gonna have to be in a mock draft.
I can't be in a mock draft, talk about 2 other mock drafts, and run the show.
It's okay. You can do it. I know you can. We're gonna have some fun with this. Join at the 7 position, and let's get it started.
Hey, but we're gonna time out.
That's okay. We're fine.
All right, then you've got to start talking some.
As soon as that draft's going, dude, you got my undivided attention. I can put the phone to the side and let everything just go. We can all go. It'll be nice. Oh, you don't have to join, Jason. Somebody did.
Good. Who was it? So I can thank them personally.
I don't know the guy's name.
Bonnaroo Jack. Thank you, Bonnaroo
Jack. And that one is officially started as well. So all
right.
3 drafts. So here's what we got. And I apologize if you're watching at home. Here's what we got going on. We got 3 live mock drafts going right now. 3 separate mock drafts. This is number 3. We just kicked it off. I'm actually drafting in this one and doing the show. So that's going to be awesome. We're having fun, guys. It's mock draft season. We're getting, we got mini camps going on, players holding out, players reporting, players getting massive contracts. Let's just get into it. I'm excited, Jason. Football is here. It is absolutely here.
Ronaldo says it's practice, Lori. It's just practice for the real thing.
We talk about practice? Practice, not the real thing. Not the real thing, but we talk about practice. I love it. Love it. I'm so excited. So I am on the clock.
Oh, you're drafting.
I am drafting. So I could take Najee Harris or I could take DeAndre Swift. Personally, I am a Swift over Najee guy. So I'm going to go with DeAndre Swift at the 1-9.
So, so the Big S asks Sutton or Judy. For me, it's Sutton by a mile. Jerry Jeudy, I think, has had 2 top 20 finishing weeks like his whole career. So I think the talent's there for Jerry Jeudy, but I've actually seen Sutton put up big weeks. I really haven't seen that from Jerry Jeudy. George, you with me?
I'm with you there. So this feels a lot like Robert Woods Cooper Kupp last year, doesn't it?
Which one's having breakfast? I think it's Jerry Jeudy. I think
Judy's having breakfast.
Yeah.
Judy's
okay,
having breakfast.
Maybe it's breakfast. Maybe it's Judy.
Maybe it is Judy. I don't know but like I want to go Sutton. I think he's the more polished wide receiver. I think he's I sound like Mike Golick. That's fantastic. I wish I looked like him and had his money. I think he's the more polished wide receiver. I just didn't see much from Judy last year. He was just okay.
Just okay. All right. So in this one, Derrick Henry lasted past Alvin Cook. He went pick 8, and I was talking about taking him over Eckler at 3. So
I'm on the clock now. I could do tight end, which I like to get my tight ends. I like a good tight end. Or I can go Alvin Kamara, Aaron Jones. I think I'm going to go Aaron Jones just because the questions around Kamara.
Oh, so you got Swift and Aaron Jones. I really like that start.
Yeah, I do too. I really do like that start.
All right. We're going to switch over to this draft over here now that your pick's done. Take a look and see where we are. So we are 7 rounds in. There have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 quarterbacks off the board. Late quarterbacks are dead. And long live the mid-round quarterback. Any teams here, George, on this screen stand out to you?
I kind of like what team 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is doing. The guy's picking 6. So far, he hasn't taken a quarterback. He started with a wide receiver, and then it looks like he started wide receiver and went running back with Aaron Jones, and I don't know, is that Breece Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, so and he took Justin Jefferson. I like the way number 6 is started there.
Yeah, I kind of like Shiva Legend, assuming Najee's foot's fine from getting stepped on and Kamara doesn't have an injury like that or a suspension. Harris, Kamara, Waddle, Judy, Godwin. Now, he's hoping it's Judy, not Sutton. He's hoping Godwin starts the season, and then he follows it up with Schultz, who I really like, especially in the 7th round as a tight end.
I'm a Schultz guy, so which sucks because I know you're going to try to probably snipe me in our home league and take him from me. But I am all in on Dalton Schultz this year.
Yeah, absolutely. I will be all in on taking him ahead of you. Let's go, team. Let's go. All right. Now, pulling up this other draft, George. Same question, different draft. What do you got? I can tell you I like there you go. I like Thanos in this one. He's picking 1-8.
I mean, listen, I was watching Endgame right before this started. So you're talking about you like Thanos. Like, how can you not like Thanos, right? But he went heavy running back.
Yeah, Eckler, Jones, Akers, Deontay Johnson, Allen Robinson, Schultz, and then he went Patterson. Now, probably would have liked a wide receiver where he took Patterson just because we don't know what Allen Robinson's going to be. But I really like the start of that team. But again, I'm a running back heavy kind of guy.
So Van Jefferson left with an injury in camp. So I like Allen Robinson. We've seen Matthew Stafford be able to carry more than one wide receiver to a good finish for fantasy. So I like Allen Robinson. I still stand behind the fact I think he took last year off a little bit and wasn't giving it 120% like he had done in years past because they franchise tagged him. He knew he was on a bad team. He did not want to be there. That was not going to be a team that was going to win a lot of games, and it was a long season, and he was just trying to get through the season as healthy as possible because he knew they weren't going to franchise tag him again, and he'd be able to go out and sign with any team he wanted, and he went with the Rams. I'm all in on Allen Robinson. I think he will finish as a top 17 wide receiver.
Top 17 spicy. Top 20, I guess. I probably have him in the top 22, though, so I'll have to look, but I guess it's not as spicy as I'm thinking. Geriatric Prez, he started off with Jefferson, Adams, and Evans. We talked about that start. Followed it up with George Kittle, so he did kind of a 0 RB, especially because he then followed that up with Lamar Jackson, and finally came back with Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Rashad Penny. So to be able to get 3 top 15 wide receivers, a top 4-ish tight end, Lamar Jackson, and then still come back with 2 starters at running back, I think that's a solid start if you're going 0 RB.
Yeah, so I went 0 RB as well, and I agree. That is a very solid start for 0 RB. I went 3 running backs, and
that's not 0
I've got
RB.
DeAndre
That's
Swift,
3 RB.
Aaron, I know. It's here. Definitely, it's definitely heavy RB. I went Swift, Aaron Jones, and Cam Akers.
Let's see.
Come on.
We missed it. Well, he auto-drafted Dak Prescott. Thanos auto-drafted Dak, so hope he likes Dak. Switching over to...
So I'm getting razzed right now in that the sleeper league that I'm in.
Yeah, because you got 2...
Well, no, because I auto-drafted.
Oh, did you?
I
told you couldn't keep up.
You know me. I'm doing 100 different things, and they're just killing me over here in the chat.
But you drafted Swift, Jones, and then Cam Akers. That's not a bad start. 3
No,
running backs.
like I would not have taken Cam Akers there. Okay, let's just throw that out there right now. I would have taken Jalen Waddle. 100% would have gone Waddle there, but I'm not going to be mad. And because I ended up with Cam Akers, like
I might not have said anything because Waddle still hadn't been drafted.
No, Waddle's been drafted.
Oh, has he?
In number 3, yeah.
Okay, you're in 2,
yeah.
huh?
No, I'm in number 3. I'm in the 3rd one.
I don't know. Maybe it's just behind on my screen and it's not sharing properly because
it's not sharing. It's showing behind because DJ. So it went Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, and Deontay Johnson.
There we go. Okay.
So I've got to.
Yeah,
pick
you're
somebody.
Up. You're up now.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tight end. I'm gonna go George Kittle. So I like that start. I was debating taking a tight end in the 3rd, or a wide receiver. I ended up auto drafting, but I still got what I view as a top 4 tight end. I'm happy with Kittle. It was either Kittle or Waller. I might have tried to risk it and see if I can get Schultz on the back end coming back, but I'm happy with it.
George, I don't want to be rude here, but like okay. So where did Waddle go off the board here?
In mine, he went 4-1.
That's DJ Moore went 4-1.
No, DJ Moore went 4-2.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I see what's going on. When I bring it up like this, it cuts off the 12th pick.
Ah.
That's why I can't see the 4th pick. The 12th pick. All right. Okay, so Lazard
How about
or
now?
Davis? Yeah, there we go. Now I see it.
All right, what am I doing? Lazard or Davis?
Lazard or Davis.
It's got to be Lazard. Like Davis has so much target competition in New York. They got Elijah Moore. They drafted Garrett Wilson. They got Corey Davis.
Is there another Davis besides Corey Davis? Because I feel like that one should be pretty easy. Like that one, like I don't even see Corey Davis getting drafted in most drafts. So like, am I just missing another Davis?
I can't think of another Davis, to be honest.
All right. Because we're stupid. Go ahead. If it's not Corey Davis, it has to be Lazard. But in case we're missing it, Mike Davis.
Yeah.
Mike Davis. Okay. Running back.
Oh, good God. Give me Lazard. I still want Lazard.
Yeah, I still want Lazard. Okay.
Hey, Jason, I'm gonna step away for just a minute. I gotta go get a glass of water.
Okay. See how this is? He fills the draft for half of it, says, "Oh, I'll be with you the whole time," and now he's got to go get some water. I get it. Oh, Gabe Davis. Can't be Gabe Davis, is it? I mean, Sammy Davis Jr., that's probably it. Honestly, I think by the end of it, I personally think I would take Lazard where Lazard's going over Gabe Davis. I think Gabe Davis is going way too high. But if you're drafting Gabe Davis, like somebody said maybe it's Gabe Davis. I don't know. Like
Gabe Davis makes more sense.
Yeah, but
Isn't
Lazard going rounds and rounds after Gabe Davis? Like I would take Lazard at his ADP versus Gabe Davis at his ADP. How about that?
So why don't here, hold
on. George, thoughts on Trey Lance?
Ooh, Trey Lance. Listen, he's going to get the opportunity. He's not somebody I want to rely on as my quarterback one. Not even remotely close. But he's somebody like I would feel comfortable taking it late. And if I take a second quarterback, like let's say I go and I draft Matt Ryan. Like let's say I just punt the position and I up with like a Matt Ryan at quarterback. Then that's somebody I don't mind pairing with Trey Lance because I'm just not sold that Trey Lance is going to be this fantasy star everybody else thinks he's going to be. I get he's got a safe floor with his rushing, but I don't think they're going to rush him 10 to 15 times a game like they did last year.
I think it'll be down from last year, but
it's got to be because they had Jimmy Garoppolo there last year, so they knew if he got injured. Though, right? I mean, I guess officially, yes.
They're not going to release him because they don't want the Seahawks to grab him.
Correct.
Oh, come on, dude. I don't know which one that was from. I don't know if people can even hear that besides me.
I love how Justin is just naming all these different Davises. Vernon Davis, Sammy Davis Jr., Mike Davis.
Always take Vernon Davis.
Always. Listen, Vernon Davis was a stud coming out. Ronaldo 20070. Are you guys going to review all the teams? So we're not going to sit down and break down each individual team for all three drafts. Like we'll be here forever doing that.
I can do that.
If you comment in here, you want us to talk about your specific team when the draft is over, we will. How's that?
We could talk about most of them, but be pretty quick, honestly, because I can talk fast.
I can too. I like to ramble.
So we got so in the Lavatory 3, we got Team 1 started with McCaffrey, Kamara, Elliott. Like, if this was 3-4 years ago, nobody would stop this team. Add Allen Robinson. Oof. That is a strong start there.
So I have gone with a wide receiver and come back and taken Dalton Schultz in the 5th round in that draft.
Yeah. Yeah, instead of taking Kittle.
Yep.
Yeah, sometimes, in our 16-team league that we're running at Toilets for Titles, just us guys I took Pitts early.
Real quick, can I give a shout out to the Toilets for Titles guys? Like they are all over these drafts. We've got Alex is running the Mock Draft Lavatory draft number 1. We've got Justin in number 2 running number 2. In number 3, you talk about coming through. We got Jared, Sean, Nino, the Bandito, myself, Chuck, and Nate. So shout out to the Toilets and Title guys for jumping in these mock drafts. They didn't have to jump in these drafts and actually do any drafting tonight, but they gave up their time to do it, and I appreciate them for that.
So the Big S asked if we could talk about his team in Lavatory number 1 draft.
Pull it up. Let's do it right now. We'll do it right now, Big S. We got you.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna pull it up. I was looking at it by myself, but then remembered that I have to also pull things up. So George, there it goes, and I'm going to pull it back up on my screen so I can see it up close. So he started with Taylor. He's got Williams, number 2. He's got his third running back in Deebo Samuel. Then he went Darren Waller, Marquise Brown, Adam Thielen, Kyler Murray, Chris Olave, Robert Woods. So running back week, but when you start out with Taylor and then you hope Javonte Williams actually gets a bigger share this year than 50-50. If he does, then you have a solid team there.
Yeah, I think you need more running backs. You're only starting, and I appreciate you drafting more running backs. You're only starting 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, and 1 flex. So I would have been a lot happier if instead of taking either Robert Woods or Chris Olave, you would have shored up your backfield with Melvin Gordon, right? That's not a bad pick.
Well, the problem with Melvin Gordon, he's already got Javonte, and not that I would hate running them both out.
You could play them both. They were both fantasy viable last year.
So J.K. Dobbins was there when Marquise was picked. Elijah Mitchell was there, although I'm a little more out. Yeah, I don't know. A.J. Dillon even before Thielen. He was taken before Thielen. I don't know, Rashad Penny or Edmonds, one of those guys to be a third starter, and not to be taking 2 rookies back to back 10th and 11th, and maybe having to play one of those guys when neither one of those guys right now is projected to be starter. Although Pierce may be in Houston if Mac doesn't show out. That's my only worry with that team. There is, again, I'd want another running back in the first 6 rounds or so. But I mean, starting
even if he instead of taking Brown, right? If he would have took Josh Jacobs, if he would have taken J.K. Dobbins, Elijah Mitchell coming back, A.J. Dillon, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, guys I could see there. Miles Sanders. It might have been a little early for Miles Sanders. I think he might have been hoping Miles Sanders fell. But I would have taken another running back over Marquise Brown and give yourself a solid core of 3 running backs. Just because the position is so fragile. These guys are prone to get hurt. They're going to miss time. They're not going to play all 17 games from the running back position. Most of them are going to miss a couple of games here and there. So you put yourself real thin at that position.
So Justin says he went to school with a Marshall Davis. He was really fast. Is that somebody Lori knew, or I'm just checking?
All right, Jason. So I'm on the clock here. This will be our team. Okay? This is going to be mine and your team.
Okay.
I'll let you make this pick. I know who I want.
I can't see the list of players, so
that's okay.
Give me some names.
All right. So you see the team there. We got DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Cam Akers, Kittle, Michael Thomas, Chris Godwin. I'm looking at wide receivers here.
You need a wide receiver.
You got DeAndre Hopkins, Drake London, Deontay Smith, Treylon Burks, our guy Hunter Renfrow, Elijah Moore, Tyler Lockett, Garrett Wilson, Brandon Ayuk, Robert Woods.
I'm taking
where
Smith
would you
of all
go?
Those guys. I'm going Smith there.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. Give me Smith. I think he's going to ball out. I am very high on Smith this year, but it's your team. Take who you want.
No, it's our team. I took Devonta Smith. I told you I was letting you make that pick.
Who would you have gone with?
So I'll tell you in a few
minutes. Yep. All right. Yes. So I'm going to go back over to. I'm going back over to 1.
There was a couple other people wanting us to talk about their team, wasn't there?
Yeah. So we're going to do that. In number 1, team 9. So I'm going to zoom back into number 1, team 9. Shiva Legend wants us to talk about his. So Najee, Kamara, then he went Waddle, Judy, Godwin, Schultz, Gabe Davis, which, Gabe Davis in the 7th is much closer to where I'd want him. I've seen him much higher. Russell Wilson, Ronald Jones, Tom Brady, Valdez Scantling. Here's the thing. two quarterbacks, and especially two quarterbacks like this, I'm not sure that I would do that.
I wouldn't either.
So, you kind of need some more running backs. Singletary, where Russell Wilson was taken, would have been my thing. You've only got two.
Patterson, Ramondre, Melvin Gordon. Like I mean, listen, I was listening to a Kansas City Chiefs podcast earlier today because we're doing our off-season breakdowns, and I'm trying to get a guest on for Justin to do the Kansas City Chiefs one. So I was listening to one of their podcasts today, and they were talking that, like, believe it or not, Ronald Jones is actually on the bubble of making that team. There's a chance he gets cut.
It's funny. I've heard that from a couple sources, and a couple sources say he may be the starter. It's all weird camp talk right now. Like I get it.
CEH is for sure going to be your starter. There is definitely potential for him to get cut.
Let's see. So he said Sanders. Big S said Sanders and Stevenson got sniped. I get it. So let's see. We're going to go here. Wants to talk about draft 2. Pick number 6. So I'm going to find draft number 2.
Let's do it.
I'm going to find draft number 2. That's draft number 3. I promise you I'll find draft number 2 eventually.
All right. So we're on the clock again.
Okay.
The guy I would have taken was either going to be Hunter Renfrow or it would have been Drake London. Those were the two guys I was going back and forth between.
Okay.
But now we got 3 running backs. We got 3 wide receivers. And we got a tight end. I'm not ready yet to take a quarterback. Let me see who's available. Burrow, Hurts, Wilson, Prescott, Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Lance, Carr, Cousins, Tagovailoa. Yeah, I'm not taking a quarterback. We still have DeAndre Hopkins, Drake London, Elijah Moore, Tyler Lockett. I feel like we could go running back. We got Ken Walker, Ramondre Stevenson, Michael Carter, Isaiah Spiller, James Robinson, Madison Jones. I made an executive decision. I actually went James Robinson.
Very nice. That's going to be tough because I don't know if he's going to be healthy. They keep talking about it like he's going to be, but
they're talking like he's doing full running and everything else.
All right, so draft 2, pick 6, George. Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara, Darren Waller, DJ Moore, Elijah Mitchell, Mooney, Gabe Davis, Pollard, Lazard, Stafford, Tolbert, Brian Robinson. I think that's a solid team top to bottom. You've got, and again, we don't know where Kamara is going to get suspended or not. A lot of reports saying he's not going to.
A lot hinges on Kamara, right? Like that's the thing that sticks out to me the most. Like Kamara, I like the fact he went with Mitchell in the 5th. So Mitchell, you could flex him, and if Kamara gets suspended, he can move right into your RB2.
Well, you also have Pollard. You also have Pollard there that's got standalone, that's got his own value. So I like that
Pollard,
as well.
You can flex Pollard too.
So I like this team because you've got a couple of, you're solid at running back. Yeah, you must start 2 wide receivers, so you're either going to be starting Darnell Mooney or Gabe Davis. You could also start Lazard there, and he could blow up. So I actually like this team.
I like that team a lot.
Yeah. I mean, I might have taken Tom Brady over Matt Stafford, but I am a homer. You were looking for where Watson was going to go off. Now, they drafted Justin says, can you please describe what you think, what George thinks coitus is?
So let me tell you this, Justin. I do watch, what the hell is the name of the show now? The Big Bang Theory, right? And Sheldon is always talking about coitus. So I'm going to keep it PG, but I do know what coitus is because I do watch The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, Justin, are you trying to get us suspended from YouTube here with this coitus talk?
Yes. If you want to know what coitus is, Justin, go to the break from the grind on our next episode and we'll talk about coitus.
NJ Monger's team feedback. So, Justin says, I'm like Sheldon, by the way, Lori. I'm not going to go there. So S. Lee wants to know NJ Monger's team feedback. S. Lee, can you tell us which league and what team number, and we will get to that. It just make it easier for us because
let us know if it's the Mock Draft Lavatory number 1, number 2, or number 3.
And then Justin says he's Penny. That I see. I could be real mean and say same cup size, but we'll go with team. So S. Lee, which league? Which league?
I think he means number 2. I think he meant number 2. So go to
two,
Mock Draft
two,
Lavatory number 2.
Okay, let me. That's number 1, and that's number 3. So this is number 2. I'm getting there, man.
Now listen, for us, just pulling this the first of the season. This is the first. So if you're watching right now, this is the first time we've done 3 mock drafts at once this season. This is the first time we've done the podcast covering the mock drafts as they're actually happening. Plus, you have me who is actually involved in one of the mock drafts and actively drafting. So, bear with any of our technical difficulties. We're trying to iron it out. Next week will definitely be a lot better. But yeah, we'll figure it out. Go ahead, Jason.
All right, so I can only see so much, and I don't have the actual draft up beside this, but I'll say Cooper, Kupp, and Hill, 2 solid wide receivers to start. Pitts, obviously could be a boom tight end, and then you've got Gibson and Jacobs as your running backs. That's a little tough for me as a running back guy, but it's not a bad start if your first 3 picks aren't running back. Kyler Murray, something you're going to find out from George and I, we're late quarterback guys. So when you take Kyler Murray early, it's tough. I understand the want to do it. He's got good legs. He's got good arm, got a good head on his shoulders. He's got a big old contract. He's going to be good this year. I would have taken another running back there. I might have taken Hunt there instead. DeAndre Hopkins, you got Treylon Burks, Sky Moore, going for a couple upside with rookies. And then Marlon Mack, who's projected to be a starting running back. So I like that. And then you want another quarterback. And this is what I say when I'm a late round quarterback guy. I am not a 2 quarterback guy in a 1 quarterback league. I will only draft 1 and then on a bye week find a replacement versus, and that's knowing your league a little. As far as I can tell from here up to that point, you're the first person to take 2 quarterbacks. And if you had taken, I would like this team so much more if you had taken, let's say, Kareem Hunt, where you took Kyler Murray and still got Tom Brady down below. But overall, and then you got Zadarius White from Vegas and a lot of good buzz from him. And you're backing up your Jacobs a little bit just in case he ends up not being the guy. But I do really like this team top to bottom, minus the fact that, again, 2 quarterbacks, and you even say it here, that you say that's where you failed. Failing is a tough thing because
it's not really failing. It's you're trying out different strategy. That's why we mock, is to try out different strategies. Yeah, it helps because it gets player ADPs and whatnot, but you could try different strategies to see how you like the outcome. Because of these mocks. So you didn't fail. It's just a mock.
It's just a different thing, a different way to do it.
So Jason, I'm going to so I did something in the other draft I never do.
Okay.
I took a second tight end.
Okay.
I had George Kittle.
Yep.
And at 9-9, Zach Ertz was staring at me. And I know you're a Zach Ertz guy.
This year I am. Yep.
Yes. So I went and I snatched up Zach Ertz, which I like that. Somebody we could put in the flex, if need be. And now I'm looking at quarterbacks in the 10th. And this is why we say in single quarterback leagues, wait on your quarterback. Just wait on them.
Who's available, George?
We got Dak, Brady, Rodgers, Stafford, Carr, Cousins. I'm going to take a quarterback here, and I'm going between Stafford and Brady. I know you're a Brady guy. That's a little bit of a homer pick. And you know what, Jason? Actually, let me see.
He had more yards and touchdowns than Stafford last year. Yeah, Stafford won the Super Bowl, but that doesn't get you fantasy points.
No, it doesn't. But you know what?
You took
There's so many good quarterbacks there. I took Alexander Madison.
All right.
Let's see what we get when we come back. Listen, I'm looking at. I went through and I looked at the people ahead of me.
Only two teams don't have quarterbacks.
Exactly. There's about unless another team takes a second quarterback. Like, I like what I'm going to get coming back in the 11th round for a quarterback. I just am. Alexander Madison, if Dalvin Cook's going to miss time. He misses time every year. So he's going to miss 2 or 3 games this year. I know he is. Alexander Madison will be a fantastic fill-in for those 2 or 3 games.
Let's see. So Algier went off the board. A lot of good stuff coming out. I mean, it's tough because everybody's saying good things about after camp. Frito Bandito's team. Let's talk about him for a second. He started Chase Hill, Mike Evans. Solid wide receiver start. Darren Waller went next. So 0 RB strategy going on there. And then he went on a run. Jacob, Singletary, Penny, Spiller, and Walker.
I like it. So I listen, Josh Jacobs is going to be a starting running back, right? If you're going 0 RB, and I consider Rich doing a 0 RB here. He waited till the 5th round to take a running back. Like, Josh Jacobs as an RB1 is not bad at all. And then I'm not high on Singletary as much as other people are. I know he finished the end of the season strong last year, but I'm not sold on Singletary. They drafted James Cook to come in and be that wide receiving running back. I mean, that's a position they really tried to address to the point that they tried to sign J.D. McKissick. So it's not just that, Cook fell to them in the draft. No, that's a position that they looked at their team, they evaluated it, and said, this is a need that we absolutely have. So they went out and they drafted James Cook. So I'm not sold, especially in a PPR league, on Singletary. But I love Rashard Penny. And I think getting Rashard Penny in the 7th round is absolutely amazing value.
Well, so to start with 5 non-running backs, and even if you don't like Singletary, he's a starter, to then get 3.
Well, he started with 4 non-running backs. Four non-running backs. Chase, Hill, and Evans. And then Waller.
Oh, yeah. 4 non-running backs.
Round. Yeah.
To still get 3 starting running backs, that's solid.
It's phenomenal.
Okay, so Lee says Brady over Stafford, and then he also says he subscribed. So thank you for that, sir. We appreciate that. Because this team brings a lot of fantastic comment. We're going to be here every Monday night. We got the main show on Tuesdays. We've got the team breakdowns that George is working on. We've got Sunday night roundtables. There's a show just about every night. We've got articles coming out. We've got a Patreon if you want to drop a little bit of cash, and we've got a Discord channel with that. Like, this team is best graphics guys in the biz. Like, this team
for
is
sure. The graphic guys are amazing.
Don't tell Campy I said that. He'll get his he'll get too big for his britches. But best graphics guys in the biz. Like, this team's putting out a lot of good content, and it's just the off season. Just wait till the season starts. So,
hey, Jason, you want to hear something crazy?
Yep.
How long have we been podcasting?
I mean, like 58 minutes and 45 seconds.
You know what I mean? How long have you and I been podcasting?
5 years, I think. 5 years.
Okay. In those 5 years, how many news articles have I written?
Now, I think 2.
Yes. I'm up to 2. I've done 2 in the last 2 weeks. So that tells you how dedicated this team is. Like, they actually convinced me I should write freaking articles. So I've written 2 articles so far. I did one on my top 5 NFL coaches that are currently in the NFL. And then I did another one on a bunch of guys who I feel are undervalued and will outperform. Jared said not enough. 5 guys who are being drafted later that I feel will outperform their ADP and finish ahead of guys being taken ahead of them. So, like, as you're talking about all the people who are working on this team, I do love hugs. Oh, I love hugs. I'm a hugger. But yeah, like this team is absolutely phenomenal, and they drive you to want to do more.
You got a little props from Justin's wife there?
Yes. I'm glad. Look, I've gotten more props from Justin's wife than Justin's gotten from Justin's wife. I don't know how to feel about this.
And then DJ M from Jared.
DJ Moore.
Yep.
Jared's going to be pumping up anybody that is working with Baker Mayfield.
And then Lori says, "Oh, I won't publicly give Justin props."
Don't worry, Lori. We won't either.
No.
Jason, so I'm on the clock.
Okay. Let's do
Tom
this.
Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Matt Stafford, Derek Carr, Kirk Cousins are all still there.
Tom Brady, man, for sure. But
no, I'm skipping the position.
Putting it again. All right.
Yeah, because unless Chuck or EK, and I don't think EK will take a second quarterback. Even if the next three guys take quarterbacks, there's still going to be a quarterback there I like.
All right, so what are you taking? What are we taking?
I'm leaning towards Darrell Henderson because I have Cam Akers.
Sure.
Got to listen. Cam Akers got that Achilles, right? Like, got to kind of protect him a little bit.
Lori says Justin hasn't written any articles, has he?
He has not. No, Justin, why don't you write in articles?
I mean, to be fair, Lori, you haven't written any either.
So we need to go to Sean's team in number 3. And we'll talk about Sean's 3. Because he made this comment up here that says, I will tell him he failed. I want to look at his team because I don't think he's failed.
Well, I mean, failure is subjective.
It is.
I like telling people they failed, so let me see what I can do to tell Sean he's failed. So team 3, huh?
Yep. It's draft number 3.
Team 3.
Number 1, 2, 3, 4. Is he 3?
No, I don't know what that you said.
No, he's team 4. Mock draft 3, team number 4.
Okay, so Mandarin 544. He's got Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce, Josh Allen. There's where you failed. David Montgomery, Mike Williams, Kareem Hunt, Chase Edmonds, Drake London, Hopkins. You got Nuck there, Pierce, and Khalil Herbert. Early running back is where, or early quarterback, I mean, is where you fail.
Yep.
You know, over like Breece Hall, Cam Akers, Connor, and his touchdown upside. So you end up with Montgomery as your running back 1, and that's where it's tough for me. I love Cooper Kupp. I like Mike Williams in the 5th round. Drake London, I think, is going to have a good solid year. When Hopkins finally comes back, he'll be rested and healthy. So not a bad pick there. And I like Chase Edmonds and Kareem Hunt. But man, I'm such a late. Like we're gonna take Tom Brady in the 12th round there, George.
Yeah. No, we took Matt Stafford at 12-4.
Oh, well, okay, so I hate our team a little bit more now.
But yeah, I'm not a fan of the early quarterback, especially in a single quarterback league. Next week I'm going to do a super flex, which will definitely change the quarterback values. They will all skyrocket up the board. But I want to talk about this real quick that Jared commented. That's my fault. We're doing a giveaway for an autographed for a jersey. Jared's got like 7 or 8 jerseys. He's got Baker Mayfield. He's got DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, He's got a whole bunch of different jerseys that he's giving away. They're completely free. You don't have to do anything. All you got to do is hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Once we hit 1,000 followers on YouTube, we will do a raffle and give away the jersey. That's all you got to do is just hit the subscribe button on YouTube. That's all you got to do. Not very hard. Also, go to Twitter, follow Toilets to Titles on Twitter. That is the main account. We're always posting breaking news there, articles, the podcast. When we do our mock drafts, I post them there before we actually start them here, so you can actually get in earlier. Jared said he's going to let the winner pick their own jersey. So you can pick whatever jersey you want, and he'll get you a new jersey. So all you got to do is hit the subscribe button on YouTube, and we're almost there. We've got a little over 600 right now. We're cruising up the charts. We are actually within the top 100 podcast in the United States is Toilets to Titles. I need to double check. I think we're actually in the top 90 at the moment. So we're in 92, 91 range. So, but yeah, give us a follow.
He'll give you, he said, brand new any team. Even if you want a Sam Darnold Panthers jersey, he won't hold it against you.
Correct.
So getting back up here to Lori. Lori says
Go ahead. Sorry.
She says, I have 3 publications in academic journals. I mean, how is that going to tell Sean that he should take late round quarterback instead of drafting Josh Allen early? Think about it, Lori. Think about it. Let's see. We're going to have a cup of cup. Thank you, Joe. Mr. Clark.
Joe's checking in. I love Joe.
And let's see.
Joe says you can get a Sam Darnold one. It'll be discounted. It's a win-win.
Sean likes academic journals. Well, Sean would. I know that guy. He takes Josh Allen early.
Hey, speaking of Sean, listen, I've messaged you twice. I got your guy that you wanted to do a podcast with. He agreed to do it, right? He's all about the analytics, wants to do it. Just tell me when. Message me. Tell me when you can do the podcast so I can tell him. I'm leaving him hanging right now. That's not cool.
You know what I feel bad? You know what I feel bad about? Because we do weekly on Sunday nights around 8:30, guys. We do the Sunday night roundtable, and it's pretty much anybody from Toilets from Title that wants to jump on. It's Jared's always on. Justin finally is going to be able to do Sundays. Lori had a guest spot last night. Coach Sheps is on. I think I said, Jared, it's you and me, George. And Sean is on there too. And every time Sean starts to talk, because he's so measured and so quiet when he talks, and he has so much knowledge that he kind of gets walked on a little bit. And so we always have to say, hey, stop, guys. Let's listen to what Sean has to say, because you're about to get a whole bunch of knowledge. And that Sean, he's quiet, he's humble, and he's willing to stop talking when somebody talks over him. Needs to be a little more assertive, I think. But I love having Sean on, because Sean, anytime Sean talks, you're about to hear something really important.
Yep, and the dude is super knowledgeable. He's just not talking to hear his voice like I do. He's a lot smarter than me. Yes. He's also Marine, so thank you for your service, Sean.
Thank you, Sean. Let's see. Okay, so are you saying all the drafts are done, George?
I believe, yeah, all the drafts are done. The third one finished, and we started way after everybody else, so we should all be done. If you want, real quick, let's go through, pull up each individual draft. We'll talk about what kind of surprised us in the draft, which team we like the best, and you know what? We'll even say which one we don't like the best, which one we like the least.
Okay, I hate our team because we took Stafford over Brady.
You love our team. Don't start that.
I hate our team.
I think Brady went undrafted in that draft.
Right. So I hate our team even more. Actually,
that's even more of a reason for Sean not to have taken a quarterback early.
Well, that's true. That's absolutely true. All right, I'm gonna start with the lavatory number 3. I'm gonna say that right the first time at some point.
Monday Mock Draft Lavatory. It's not hard, Jason.
It's pretty difficult. So I like draft 3. I like team 2. Got McCaffrey, Kamara, Elliott. Again, if this was 3 years ago, it would be a dynamite team, but it's still a good team. Sutton I like, Robinson I like, Miles Sanders there. I really like Gabe Davis in round 7. I like Brandon Ayuk could be solid. Jalen Hurts in round 9, and I'm a big Jalen Hurts guy this year. Rashad White, Dawson Knox. I might have gone Cole Kmet there. Scantling in the 12th round, and it's not letting me scroll back down past that. So I like the first 12 picks of that team.
So it's not letting you go past Scantling because there was only 12 rounds.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just, George, who do you like in this? And I'll look for teams that I'm lukewarm on. How about that?
Okay, so I agree with you. I like team number 2. That's B Johnston 8592. I do like his team. I'm a huge McCaffrey guy. A lot of it hinges on Kamara and what he gets suspended. If he does it, even if he gets suspended, like he still got Zeke in the 3rd round. So I like that. I'm not trying to be a homer, but I really do like our team. I think our team came out, really, really well. I'm a huge Swift guy. I think Aaron Jones is just going to light the world on fire this year. The big question mark, honestly, is Cam Akers.
No, so
George Kittle.
Let me speak a little bit because I didn't draft this team. Let me talk about why team could be okay, where the team has issues, right? So Swift, Aaron Jones, Cam Akers is a solid start, but if you had gotten Waddle there and then gone with Kittle, I'd have been much happier because then we followed it up with Michael Thomas, who we haven't seen on the field for a good while. And then Chris Godwin, who we don't know when he's coming back, even though we think it might be early, we don't know. Like I said, I like Smith, especially where we got him. Robinson, we don't know when he's coming back. We got Ertz. And I might have tried to shore up our wide receiver there versus taking a second. And then again, when we got Henderson and Madison, because now we have 2 backup running backs, but our starting wide receivers to start the season, our starting wide receiver to start the season is Smith. And if Michael Thomas isn't healthy, which he's projecting to be healthy, but you don't know, but our starting wide receivers, Michael Thomas and Devontae Smith. Chris Godwin, we don't know if he's going to be there, and then that's it. Like, wide receivers, like the big problem here on this team.
Yeah, no, I agree. The other team that I really do like, and we talked about it earlier, and I actually think it's the best team in the entire draft, and that's Rich, Frito Bendito. I absolutely love how his team came together. He started out with the 3 wide receivers, Chase, Tyreek, and Mike Evans. Like, Mike Evans is going to be his every week flex. Like, that's absolutely phenomenal. Darren Waller, you expect him to be good. He stacked Darren Waller with Derek Carr as his quarterback, who he took in the 12th round. So you got to kind of love that. He didn't force the stack. It's just something that came natural. I probably would have went with Brady over Derek Carr, but he is a Raiders fan, so I get that. And then I like what he did with his running backs, where he went with 5 straight: Jacobs, Singletary, Rashard Penny, Isaiah Spiller, and Ken Walker. Then went Garrett Wilson, Zamar White. So I really do like what he did with his team.
What do you think about Jared? Like, he went hero RB a little bit because he ended up with Taylor because he was the first pick, and then got Mark Andrews, then A.J. Brown, Lamar Jackson, Cooper, Equinemius, Same Brown. Not Equinemius, but, I got to give him shit. I know it's Amon-Ra. Patterson, Kirk, Jones. Like, he went two quarterbacks because, but again, that's kind of where I'm saying, like, instead of taking Lamar Jackson, he could have had, Elijah Mitchell, Josh Jacobs, Dobbins.
Yeah. I think him. So I'm not going to like any team that takes a quarterback early. I'm just not. especially taking two quarterbacks. Like you got Lamar and you got Dak, right? Like when are you sitting Lamar for Dak? Other than his bye week, right? Like as long as he's healthy, you're never sitting Lamar for Dak. Doesn't matter the matchup. It doesn't matter. So I'm not a big fan of taking the two quarterbacks. I'm not a big fan of taking the quarterback early, especially in a quarterback league.
So Lori says, good job. Thank you, Lori. I appreciate that. And then Sean says, zero RB is a viable strategy this year, and it will give you the opportunity to draft people like Kelsey, wide receiver 1 and quarterback 1 if you choose. Gives you positional advantage. That and shorter rosters will win.
The problem with that is you're banking on Josh Allen. Like Josh Allen has to finish as the quarterback 1, and he has to finish significantly higher than all the other quarterbacks. And that's probably not going to happen. Like I don't see a huge difference between where Josh Allen's going to finish for fantasy purposes and, for example, where Justin Herbert is going to finish. And Justin Herbert was taken three rounds later. So I'm never going to be an early quarterback guy. It doesn't matter if he's the QB1 or not. He absolutely has to finish as the QB1 in order for him to pay off taking in the third round, where you've passed over guys like a Mike Evans, a Pittman, a Breece Hall, all these other players that you passed on. It's just not something I personally would do, and it's not something I could subscribe and convince somebody else to do. If that's the way you'd like to draft, that's absolutely fine. You absolutely draft the way you want. But
so I think
I'm not a fan of the QB in the top 5 rounds. I can't do that.
So zero RB does kind of make some sense, but I think in typical zero RB, I think for me it's wide receivers and tight ends, and you can still punt the quarterback till late. One of the drafts.
Yeah, and really taking a running back in the 4th round is really not zero RB.
No, it's like 6th, 7th round, I think, by definition.
Yeah.
But like Tom Brady didn't go drafted in the 3rd mock year. He went undrafted, and he was the quarterback 2 in a lot of formats last year.
Yep,
like
he was.
So, and he only has more weapons this year. I know Antonio Brown's gone, Julio Jones is there, Russell Gage is there. When Chris Godwin gets back,
line though, like the line is it did take a hit.
So Justin says a couple guys mentioned wanting to do a super flex. Like we went very basic for this first one, guys.
I'll be doing a super flex next week for sure.
Yeah, we'll definitely expand it out. But I think if we do super flex, we need to do it across the board. Just makes it easier. It makes it easier for us to comment on teams and remember what is what.
Not only that, but I wanted to set like a lot of the leagues that people are doing are basic leagues. They're not all these intricate, complicated leagues. So I just kept it bare bones basic this year. Like at one point, I even had kicker and defense as mandatory drafts, and I decided at the end to take them out just to shorten the length of the draft a little bit.
Yeah, because why add a 13th and 14th round just for kicker and defense? Sean says George is right. Let's not make that a habit, Sean. He'll make his head big. But in mocking, trying a different strategy shows what zero RB you could end up with. Okay,
correct. That I agree with. Absolutely agree.
So we looked at number 3. Let's
go number 2.
Let's go over to. Oh, I don't know if is that number 2. I think that's number 2.
Yeah, that's number 2. Because Justin's in it. I can see Justin's name. Yep, we're in the Mock Draft Lavatory number 2.
Okay. And George, I'll let you go first because I don't actually have that one up aside from here, so I'm gonna have to stare at this really close to see it.
That's fine. So the one thing that stands out to me right away is Geriatric Prez, which, by the way, I absolutely love that sleeper name. He went zero RB. He started out Justin Jefferson, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, George Kittle, Lamar Jackson in the 5th. And then he finally took his first running back in the 6th, 6'9". He went Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Rashard Penny, Melvin Gordon, took Garrett Wilson, Naheem Hines, Cole Clement, and then Williams, the rookie from Detroit. I kind of like that team. I kind of like
do.
it. Like
I
Justin
do.
Jefferson, Adams, and Evans. Evans is, again, the third. It seems like everybody taking Evans in the third round as their flex if you go 3 straight wide receivers. He's got George Kittle and Lamar Jackson. Edwards-Helaire is a starting running back. Penny's going to be a starting running back. Melvin Gordon is he a starting running back? I don't know, but he's going to split. Wilson, Hines is a good PPR running back. Added Cole Kmet late. Like, I kind of like that team as far as a 0 running back team.
So the team I like team 1 because I like the start of Taylor and Fournette, and then I like Deebo Samuel, I like Courtland Sutton, and then I like Mike Williams. Now here's my problem: I'm only seeing like a couple letters of the name on the first one, so I think that's Rashad Bateman, and if it is, I love that there.
It is Rashad Bateman,
and I can't see
Russell Wilson, Devonta Smith, Pat Freiermuth, White, Algier, and then Gainwell.
Yeah, I love team 1 because I think he's got 2 solid running backs to start. He's got some flyers on some guys late, but for starting running back, his wide receiver core is killer. I think Bateman's going to blow up this year. I think Williams has a good shot at being very good, and Sutton's got a shot at being very good, and that's on top of Deebo, of course. I really like this team.
Here's the one thing I would, and I like that team, but like he's not able to start all of Deebo, Sutton, Williams, and Bateman, and Smith. I mean, two of those he has to sit. Yeah, you could play mix and match. I guess. I guess I think I would rather have
another running back. I know
running back there. Just like give me Josh Jacobs over Williams, over Mike Williams, right?
I mean,
give me Dobbins over Williams. Give me Mitchell over Williams. Sanders. I want that third, lower tier starting running back. Just because, like Fournette, he can get hurt. Like Taylor, if Taylor gets hurt, like you're going to be in trouble. If your 2 running backs get hurt, you're in a world of hurt.
So Justin, let's talk about Justin's team because I'm not sure that Lori would approve. Kelsey in the first round, Nick Chubb. I'm more of an Aaron Jones guy in a PPR than Nick Chubb.
Yeah, I am too. I would pick Aaron Jones or Saquon over Nick Chubb.
Patrick Mahomes early. I love T. Higgins, Michael Thomas. You don't know because you only have Chubb, but then you took another non-receiving running back in Damian Harris. And
I don't mind Harris that late because he is a starting running back.
No, I like him late. It's just, he's got the 2 most non-PPR-ish running backs.
He does. He absolutely does.
He follows it up by having a PPR monster and Juju Smith-Schuster. Ken Walker,
I don't hate the team. Here's my only problem. I would love his team a lot more had he gone Aaron Jones over Nick Chubb. That's really my only complaint. It's a version of hero. It's a version of hero RB because he's drafting at the 12, so he could have gone Aaron Jones, Kelsey, or Kelsey, Aaron Jones. Either way, it wouldn't have mattered. He's doing the hero RB. I would have just felt a lot better if he would have took a more receiving back as his primary back, like Aaron Jones, Barkley, or Kamara, versus Nick Chubb. That's all. Like, I know Nick Chubb is still going to be a monster for him, especially the first 6 weeks of the year with Jacoby Brissett behind center. But I still feel I wish he would have started with a more receiving back.
All right, George. So we've got one more of these to look at, and then we're at an hour and a half, so we're going to jump off of here.
Yes.
So we're going to get to number 3. I swear next week I'm going to put these in order.
East Coast dad's got to get up and go to work in the morning.
So are we looking at number 3? Is that what we're doing, or is it a different one?
Nope, 3's done. I can stop sharing number 3. We got to do number 1.
Okay, there we are. That's what I was doing. All right. Number 1. Trying to see. So I can tell you.
Yeah, I already know the team I like.
All right, go for it.
I like Chiva Legend.
Yeah.
Harrison.
Yeah, we
again,
talked about his
with
while it was
Kamara.
going on.
Yeah, it starts with Kamara. If he plays, I like your team. If he doesn't, boy, you're in a world of hurt. Actually, as you scroll down, I've seen a little bit more, but I'm not that big of a fan. So, sorry, Chiv 11, you had me with the first 6 picks, and then after that, you kind of fell off big time. You only drafted 2 running backs in 12 league, 3 running backs in 12 picks. And one of them, from everything I've heard from these Chiefs beat reporters and whatnot, is Ronald Jones is actually on the bubble to be cut. I can't confirm that. That's just what I'm hearing. If anybody wants, I can show you the video of where that's coming from. But they're saying he is actually on the bubble. Yeah, it's just. I love Harris. I love Kamara. Waddle, Judy, Godwin, I'm great. Schultz, I love it. Gabe Davis, okay. Russell Wilson, fantastic. But I wish you would have thrown in another running back in there somewhere.
So Alex's team. Looking at Alex's team, I really like it. Justin Jefferson. So he got a stud wide receiver. Aaron Jones, Breece Hall, solid running back start. Mike Williams,
Yep.
DK Metcalf. Now, personally, I would have taken Brandon Cooks over DK Metcalf, but I get it.
So there have been reports coming from camp that Geno and it's just camp. It's August 1st. I'm aware of this, okay? But Geno Smith has been hyper targeting DK Metcalf.
And why wouldn't you, right?
Exactly.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yes.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he's a starter. He's a solid starter for your third guy. Elijah Moore, Alan Lazard, who could be big. Melvin Gordon, solid piece there. Matt Stafford, Naheem Hines, and then he had to take a tight end, so he took Cole Kmet, which if you're going late tight end, I don't hate it. I like Alex's team a lot there. I'm also a fan of Larry's.
The only thing I don't like about Alex's team is I think he reached on Matt Stafford because I got him in the 12th
round. Tom Brady went in the 10th in this one, though, so...
Yeah, he reached. Well, I mean, he also drafted Russell Wilson. Again, Chiva, what are you doing? You're never going to sit Wilson for Brady. You're never going to sit Brady for Wilson. You don't need 2 top 12 quarterbacks in a league that's only 1 quarterback.
Let's see. Anything else that sticks out to me here?
I kind of like OBJ 15's team. Derrick Henry, Mike Evans, James Conner, Antonio Gibson, Sutton Hopkins, Harris Stevenson. I like pairing Harris and Stevenson like that. Garrett Wilson, Rodgers, Hardman, and Alberto. I kind of like that team, actually.
Yeah, I like that too. So I also like Larry Souls. So I like Cook, Fournette, Keenan Allen, Allen Robinson. Early quarterback with Herbert. It's the 5th round. I kind of get it. Drake London.
I'm not going to poop on a team taking a quarterback in the 5th. I won't.
Especially not Herbert, who again, I think has huge upside. Could be I think he's probably quarterback too. Drake London, Kareem Hunt, Goddard, Renfro, Landry, Dawson Knox, and Christian Watson. I kind of like that team as solid too.
I think people forget how good of a running back Kareem Hunt has been. I get that he got injured last year, but up until the point where he got injured, he was an RB2. And you're getting RB2 value in the 7th round. That's fantastic.
So I am going to remove this from the stream. It's just going to be me and you again.
Wonderful.
Oh, hold on. We got Lavatory 2, Team 9. Let's see if I can pull that back up. I want to get everybody who wants us to talk about their team especially if they're watching the stream. Let's see if I can actually find. George, do you have 2?
I do have 2. Give me 1 second. I got to pull it up on the phone, though. Number 2. Here it is.
Okay, I got it. So it's Dalvin Cook, Stephon Diggs, Breece Hall, Michael Pittman, Jerry Jeudy, Jalen Hurts, Goddard, Edmonds, Jones, Kadarius Toney, and I missed the last 2 there because I still have the banner up.
Mark Ingram and Romeo Doubs. I think you reached on Romeo Doubs. I get that there's not a whole lot of wide receivers there in Green Bay right now, but I think you're reaching on Doubs. But I mean again, it's the 12th round, right?
Like, it's the last pick. Oh,
yeah.
Hold on. Is it not scrolling? 1, 2, 3. Russell Gage went all the way down in the 12th round. How the mighty has fallen.
People were talking about taking him in the 6th round. That's just ludicrous.
So I dig the team, actually. We've talked about Ronald Jones, maybe not. George has talked about Ronald Jones maybe not making it based off some discussions he's had with a beat writer there. Dalvin Cook, obviously solid when healthy. Stephon Diggs, I think, is a top 4 wide receiver. Breece Hall, best rookie out there. I'm not a fan because he's on the Jets, but, he is a good running back. As long as that offensive line is better, he'll be good. Michael Pittman, what can you say? He's the only guy in town. Justin would have some words about that, but, it's true. He's the only guy in town. Jerry Jeudy, Hurts. I like Hurts, especially going round 6. I'm okay with Hurts in the 6th round. Goddard, Chase Edmonds, you got a starter. Ronald Jones, we talked about. Kadarius Toney has huge upside, which is what I like to see in these later rounds. Mark Ingram, I mean, it's Mark Ingram's only valuable really if Kamara gets hurt, but again, it's really late in the draft, so you got
the only thing I did not like about this, and I don't know if it was intentional because he had Hurts as his quarterback or not, but I think I would have rather have gone with Zach Ertz over Dallas Goedert. And that's just me. Honestly, I'm just nitpicking there. Like, I get the Dallas Goedert, but I would have gone with Ertz personally over him. But it's still it's a very good team. I love that you got Chase Edmonds in the 8th round. Kadarius Toney, as Jason mentioned, tons of upside. Top to bottom, it's a very solid team.
So also, just to say, the Eagles went with Goddard over Ertz, so why not? Why not our guy here, Jeremy? I'm just saying. All right,
the Eagles didn't want to pay Ertz.
All right, guys. With that, I am going to bring it back to just me and George. We're going to end up closing out the show. Remember, if you want to sponsor us, it's my joke, but patreon.com/toilets-titles, all kinds of cool stuff. Like I said, if you're on the $20 level, you get into the Frankenstein for next year. We've got Discord channel, we got articles, we got all kinds of stuff. We're here for you all season. Off season, you see how many shows we're putting out. It's going to be even more during the season, so that's going to be big. You can follow Toilets for Titles at George Reed FF, at BFTG Jason, at Justin FF_, and if you follow at Toilets for Titles, you can see everybody else that's on the show. Follow everybody there. Like I said, we've got the best articles. We've got the best graphics guy. We've got Justin having no idea he's on the camera.
Exactly. That's why I pulled him up.
Sorry, guys. I'm really busy. I'm behind on work.
So no, you're good. I just pulled you up because we knew you weren't paying attention. I'll send you back.
Yeah, thanks for.
Oh, didn't even let him finish talking. All right, and just remember, George loves hugs.
I do love hugs.
George loves hugs, and then
look,
and then we got Neil.
We got a
special,
I think we both clicked it.
We got a special mention from Neil with Clock Dodgers. Love you, Neil. Thank you for saying that. Thank you for watching. And guys, we will check you out next week. We're going to be right back here with another Mock Draft Lavatory. And I will eventually say that right on the first try. Thanks, guys. Good night.